Welcome back to the Autofocus Q&A, and this week we have as our distinguished guest the President of Honda Cars Philippines, Mr. Toshio Kuwahara. Toshio-san, you just participated in the Autofocus Summer Test Drive Festival, and I understand you were one of those that was mobbed by guys who wanted to test drive your vehicles. To begin with, did you have a complete lineup out there?
Yes, first of all, I would like to appreciate for such opportunity of the STV test drive event, and it was conducted right in time because we just launched a new city before the event, and we were able to bring in all 8 cars, models, products to the test drive event. Yeah.
And how many test drives did you have?
Well, actually, we had more than 400 test drives at the event, and this is amazing. Yeah,
that's a
highest
lot.
test drive.
And I think that's the most number of test drives registered during the 4-day event. So you expect from 400, you extrapolate that, so what, about 500 sales?
Well, could be even more.
We've been receiving a lot of questions regarding the diesel engines of Honda, if it is going to be released in the Philippine market.
Well, we are always studying what kind of newness we can bring into the Philippine market, and of course, Philippines is one of the country of which the diesel contribution ratio is almost as high as the petrol fueled engines, and that is one of the homework for me, what I can do with the Honda's diesel engine here in the Philippines.
Pardon my unpardonable ignorance, but is Honda engaged actively in diesel in some countries?
Well, we have diesel version of the CR-V in the European market, and also last year we have launched diesel engines for the smaller cars like City. But so far we are not providing any diesel engines here in the ASEAN or Asian market, and let's see what I can do for the Philippine market in the future.
But in fairness, as far as the Philippines is concerned, you may not be the first, but you're one of the first that introduced hybrid engines. Yeah.
Yes. Last year we have brought CRZ, the only hybrid sport coupe in the world, and it is the best-selling hybrid car in the Philippines so far.
And one of the most test-driven also, I guess.
Yes, sure.
Mr. Kuwahara, you did mention that sporty DNA is part of every Honda, and we're glad actually that you as a company brought in the Modulo and Mugen. How so far is the pickup of these accessories, for example, with the new cars?
Yes, in terms of Modulo, which is the genuine accessory line of the Honda cars here in the Philippines, we have launched them many years ago, and it is doing quite well. And many of the Honda customers and enthusiasts, they are attaching Modulo parts even sometimes after the purchase of the new car. And this Civic minor model change, we have decided that all the 1.8E, which is the middle range of the minor model change Civic, all of them will have factory equipped Modulo sporty exterior. And in terms of Mugen, we strengthened our relationship with Mugen last year, especially starting the CRZ, and we have also just launched the Civic MMC, the 2-liter version. All of them are equipped with Mugen, and I'd like to thank all the Filipino customers that sales of Mugen outside Japan in the Philippines became #1 in the world.
Well, I guess we all know in the news that the new Honda Cars Green Hills and Honda Cars Marcus Highway received the Good Green Dealer Awards. Any news to further expansion for Honda, especially in the provinces?
Yes, and for us to become even more closer to our customers in each area, including province, is one of the very important issue to provide the joy of Honda in the Philippines. As you mentioned, we have just inaugurated Green Hills and Marcos Highway, and also Calamba, the new 3 dealerships. And in June, we are also going to inaugurate another dealership in Naga, Camarines Sur, and we are still thinking of further expansion of the Honda network to provide the joy to the Filipino customers.
With regards to the expansion, so what
Forecast?
growth do you foresee for Honda this year?
Well,
In terms of sales?
yes. Last year in 2013, we have sold almost 12,700 cars, new cars here in the Philippines. And well, by the help of the new city, minor model Gen Civic and New Jazz or Brio, we are aiming for the growth more than 10% against last year. And let's say more or less around, we want to serve 15,000 customers this year.
Final question, Toshi-san. Is there or are there any special promos going on right now for
Yes.
Honda vehicles?
Yes. First of all, I would like to invite all the audiences of this autofocus show to our all 32 dealerships nationwide, especially to test drive the new city. And we are ready to serve all the customer for the test drive and to feel the leg room, the touch panel audio, so many amenities inside. And we are also soon to launch new Jazz. So I hope more and more customers will join us in the dealership network soon.
Okay, that concludes the Autofocus Q&A this week. May I thank our guest motoring journalists, Mr. Ulysses Ang.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you again. And Mr. Brent Ko for joining us. Brent, thank
Thank you.
And of course, our distinguished guest on Q&A this week, Mr. Toshio Kuwahara of Honda Cars Philippines. Stay tuned for more about the automobile and its industry here on Autofocus, the Philippine Motor Show on television.
Thank you.
Thank you.